Oh, blimey! What is it? This is so hogwash. They're trying to infect our brains with GMOs. It says right here, our food's DNA is mutated. We're eating bloody mutants. We're gonna turn into mutants. Holy moly, rid of all the canned corn this instant. Wait a second. That's not how that works. Crispy chicken nuggets, extra large tomatoes, those organic tofu cubes that only the veganest of your hippie friends eats, they all have something to do with GMOs, one way or another. And they are not necessarily bad as you might think. In fact, they could be the answer to the problems of future generations. It's just that usually the word genes combined with modification or mutation might lead to some misconceptions in society. Well, I'm here to debunk these theories. First of all, what do we even mean when we talk about a genome? Your genetic material is basically what contains the instructions to your body. In more scientific terms, your genetic makeup is responsible for what kind of proteins, enzymes, thus other chemical stuff, should be synthesized in your body. These proteins are the building blocks of your cells, which make up your tissues, which make up your organs. Meaning, if you have one particular allele of a gene, it's going to have that particular feature shown in your phenotype. There's a bunch of rules and laws involved, of course. This is not just about us. Starting from prokaryotes, every living being works this way, except viruses, because they always have to be so dramatic and special. Looking at you, Corona. Now, here comes the interesting part. Ever since the structure of deoxyribonucleic acid, to therefore its DNA, was discovered, it has been studied carefully. Then, in 1973, with the help of a bit of black magic and curiosity, the first genetically modified mutant was created.
Wait a second, mutant?
Hang in there, don't judge a book by its cover. Media might have made us believe that mutants are utterly wicked dimorphic creatures or unnatural monsters only seen in the series Chernobyl. It is true, yes, mutations can happen. But this coin has two sides as well. Different types of changes in the genetic material made evolution possible. Some characteristics are preferable to others. Having the ability of flight might save your butt one day. Being faster than your prey is the fine line between survival and death. Being able to create such a strong communication system might help you run the planet one day. What scientists questioned was, who said we can't make those mutations happen? To our advantage, of course. Do you guys know what popcorn looks like before it's popped out? It looks like this. Pretty wild, right? Or peas, or bananas, or cereal. All of them are the products of genetic engineering. They did not look like this before. Thousands of antibiotics that fight off the newest bacteria have been developed with genetic modification. Or vitamin A containing rice for places where the only food option people have is rice. This is important because vitamin A deficiency, apart from other bad things, can cause nyctalopia, the loss of eyesight at sunset. Crops were modified in a way so that they grow more seeds, require less space for growth, plus don't die from chemicals used against weeds. While bananas have always been actual mutants since they have 3 sets of chromosomes instead of the usual 2. They're triploids. Mutants have always been around us and will be around us. There's another debatable matter though. If we can design crops and salmon, why couldn't we design ourselves? Tons of sci-fi movies demonstrate the power of science in the future. But the truth is, most of the high-tech, extra-modern gadgets or concepts aren't actually fiction anymore. In the recent decades, molecular biology has made major breakthroughs for the betterment of humanity. CRISPR-Cas9 is one of the most useful editing methods we know so far. Not to mention LIMP. You don't believe these work on humans? A couple of years ago, a Chinese scientist modified the first 2 human embryos to be immune to HIV, the virus behind AIDS. The twin girls were born in the same year, yet this can't tell us whether the experiment actually succeeded. Sadly, this procedure is considered unethical. Thus, the man behind the, in my belief, game-changing operation was sentenced to 2 years of prison, also had his license taken away. One last important thing though. Your own genes will not be influenced by eating the flesh of a gene-modified organism. Its DNA will get broken down to amino acids in your stomach by nuclease, then will be absorbed in your small intestines. But it will certainly not cause any mayhem in your cell's nucleus. So, what have we learned? Do we really have to get rid of all those foods while GMOs are basically the most revolutionizing inventions of the century?